In the heart of the lush African jungle, there was a small village named Efun. The people of Efun lived simple lives, surrounded by tall trees, singing birds, and the constant hum of nature. Among them lived a young girl named Amina. Amina was 12 years old, with bright eyes and a smile that could light up the darkest night. Amina lived with her mother and younger brother in a small hut made of clay and straw. Her father, a brave hunter, had been lost in the jungle years ago, and though Amina missed him dearly, she was happy to have her family by her side. Life in Efun was peaceful, but it was about to change forever. One day, while Amina was playing near the edge of the village, she heard a faint whisper coming from the forest. The voice was soft, almost like a breeze, and it seemed to be calling her name. Curious, Amina followed the sound, stepping carefully through the thick underbrush. As she walked deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller, and the air became cooler. The whisper grew louder, guiding her to a small clearing where a large, ancient tree stood. The tree was unlike any Amina had ever seen. Its bark was silver, and its leaves shimmered like emeralds. Amina felt drawn to the tree, and as she reached out to touch it, she heard the voice again, clearer this time. Amina, the voice said, "You are the chosen one." Amina's heart raced. "Who are you?" she asked, looking around but seeing no one. "I am the spirit of the forest," the voice replied. "I have watched over your village for many years. Now, a great danger is coming, and you must help me protect Efun." Amina's mind was filled with questions. How could she, a young girl, protect her entire village? But before she could ask, the voice spoke again. "Touch the tree, Amina. It will give you the power you need." Hesitant but trusting the voice, Amina placed her hand on the tree's trunk. A warm, tingling sensation spread through her body, and she felt a strange connection to the forest around her. She could hear the rustling of the leaves, the scurrying of animals, and the whispers of the spirits that lived in the trees. "You are now the guardian of Efun," the spirit said. "You can communicate with the spirits and animals of the forest. But be warned, Amina, the danger that is coming is unlike anything you have faced before." Amina nodded, though she still felt unsure. She thanked the spirit and made her way back to the village, her mind buzzing with thoughts of what she had just experienced. When she returned home, her mother noticed that something was different about her. Amina seemed more focused, more aware of her surroundings. But Amina didn't tell anyone about the spirit or the power she had received. She knew she had to be careful and wait for the right moment. Days passed, and life in the village continued as usual. But Amina couldn't shake the feeling that something bad was going to happen. She started to spend more time in the forest, talking to the animals and learning about the spirits that lived there. They taught her about the balance of nature and the importance of protecting it. One evening, as the sun was setting, Amina heard a loud roar coming from the forest. She ran towards the sound and found a group of villagers gathered near the edge of the trees. They were staring at something in the distance, their faces filled with fear. Amina pushed through the crowd and saw a massive creature emerging from the forest. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. The creature had the body of a lion but with scales like a snake and glowing red eyes. It let out another roar, and the ground shook beneath it. The villagers were terrified, but Amina knew she had to act. She stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. "Stop," she shouted, her voice strong and clear. The creature turned its gaze towards her, its eyes narrowing. The villagers gasped, but Amina stood her ground. She could feel the power of the forest inside her, guiding her. "You do not belong here," Amina said, trying to sound brave even though she was scared. "Leave this place, or face the wrath of the spirits." The creature snarled, but it hesitated. Amina could feel the spirits of the forest gathering around her, lending her their strength. She knew she had to act quickly before the creature could attack. Using the power she had been given, Amina reached out with her mind and connected with the creature. She could feel its anger, its pain, and its confusion. It was lost, far from its home, and it didn't know how to get back. "You don't have to fight," Amina whispered, her voice gentle now. "Let me help you." The creature's eyes softened, and it let out a low growl, almost like a sigh. Amina took a deep breath and began to chant, calling upon the spirits to guide the creature back to where it belonged. The wind picked up, swirling around Amina and the creature. The villagers watched in awe as the creature's scales began to shimmer, and it slowly turned away from the village, disappearing back into the forest. When it was gone, the villagers cheered, rushing to thank Amina for her bravery. But Amina knew this was just the beginning. The spirit had warned her of a great danger, and she could feel that this was only the first of many challenges she would face. As the villagers celebrated, Amina looked towards the forest, her mind filled with questions. What other dangers lay ahead? And how could she, a young girl, protect her entire village from them? She knew she would have to rely on her new powers, the spirits, and her own courage to face whatever came next. And deep down, Amina felt a new strength growing inside her, a strength that would help her protect the ones she loved.